that the one that wasn't participating in politics, because that's why they destroyed religion in the first place, was because of their participation, involvement, and interference in their political system. And the troublemakers, they'll realize, the world leaders will realize that we can't have peace and security until we destroy religion, because religion is the problem of the wars. All wars originate from religious problems. Not true, though. Not 100% true. Adolf Hitler was an atheist. He was an evolutionist who only went to church to further his political career. He was acting like he was religious. 100%. He was a non-believer in God. That God existed. And he believed that if God did exist, he would think like me. So he had a preconceived idea of a God that existed, would come down and give all the power and glory to him. Anyway, it'll realize that they can't have peace and security with religion still existing, so they destroy them all. They burn their buildings down and everything, and that's when people with crosses will throw them into the garbage can. 50 cents too. He's not gonna make any more videos. 50 Cent is not gonna make any more music and videos with this big cross on it. Trust me. When they destroy religion, all people will fear for their life. They will be in great fear because people with crosses are getting shot, killed, right in the street by the military, by the National Guard, by the Army, the Marines, and everything will kill on sight anybody with a cross, anybody with a Mary sign, anyone with a Buddhist thing. Buddha, Muhammad. Muhammad's not going to save you. Jesus Christ is going to save you. And if you're no part of this world. See, that's the key, being no part of their world. And they're going to attack those people that are no part of their world. They're going to realize, hey, we got, to be fair, we destroyed our religion. We got to destroy these religious people too. See, God will protect his people through that time period, and they won't get destroyed. I mean, we Jehovah's Witnesses will walk right down the street in front of them with all their rifles and everything. They'll point their rifles at us and say, hey, you religious people, are you religious people? And they will look at us closer and they say, oh no, these are, look at all the tattoos on them. These are not religious people. Look at them, they're smoking pot and stuff. See, God will cause them to see us smoking pot, and we're not smoking pot. These people will see things. And that's how God is going to protect us in the Great Tribulation. We'll walk right past them. They won't even know it's us. They will not know it's us. They'll see something else than what we look like. God has the power to make us unseen for them. God, Jehovah God, well, at this point in time, they destroyed religion, and now people are complaining, oh, you better destroy the Jehovah Witnesses too. And they're going to do that. They're going to try to do that. They're going to plan on doing that worldwide, because we're a worldwide religion. They're going to get all governments to participate. It's going to be at the UN. The UN's going to decide the destruction of Jehovah's Witnesses. They're going to vote on it. They're going to all agree. It's going to be unanimous. They're going to unanimously want to destroy us. And they're going to set a date and time where they all harmoniously, unitedly attack us as one. Gog of Magog. This big attack from Satan, from men under the influence of Satan, that is. They're going to come with their tanks and everything. Tanks against Jehovah's Witness. That's funny. We got a Bible in our hand and they're coming with their tanks and stuff and jets, and flying jets over our heads. There they are. Gather them together. And then they gather us together and they're about to shoot at us. And Jesus appears. And they wind up shooting at Jesus. Yeah, United States will fire upon Jesus Christ. That's what it says in Revelation. Revelation chapter 19. Read it. This is so interesting. How the United States, their last war of the United States, and all the world, their so-called World War III is going to be against Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ appears there with all his 144,000 faithful, discreet slave class, because that's going to be complete. 144,000 will be up in heaven, and there will only be a few left on the earth. And they might be going right to heaven at this period in time. They call it the rapture. I don't call it. No, that's not a rapture. A rapture for a few people. That's not true. Anyway, they attack us. And during the attack, before they shoot one bullet off towards us, or maybe they're going to shoot at us, maybe, and it'll just ricochet off of God's Spirit, and all everything their bullets will fall to the ground and stuff, and not going to reach us. And God has that kind of power. God has the power to disintegrate any bullet, missile, disintegrate it. He could I hear this a lot. He could turn a missile, it'll explode and blow up a lot of flowers in the air. Boom, flowers come down and land on us. Hey, a rose! There's no thorns on this rose either, right? Thanks. Thanks, United States, for blowing up a flower missile, right? God could do that if he wanted to. There's no way United States, as much as they hate God's Christian organization and hate the truth and love the lie and love their God, false God, Satan, there's no way they can harm us during this time. During this time, this is the time when Michael will stand up in the book of Daniel, the last chapter. Michael will stand up. This means total 100% protection for God's people at this time. No longer will executions take place. Yeah, this is a long talk, huh? But it's very interesting. In Revelation chapter 19, they shoot at Jesus. And God laughs. The Bible says during this time they will attack God, and God will laugh. And that probably all the 144,000 Jesus Christ and all the entire heavens will start laughing too. Picture them all laughing up in heaven, and we could see them, because the Bible says when Jesus arrives, every eye will see him. So this is worldwide. If you're in China, you will see Jesus Christ. If you're here in America, you will see Jesus Christ. Australia, all the islands, no matter where you are, you will see him unanimously. Simultaneously? Jesus could be over here and over here and over here at the same time. Jesus could be everywhere at the same time. Like God could be everywhere at the same time if he wants to be. There's nothing that escapes God's mind. In fact, he can't count every hair on my head if he wants to. He'll know if just one single hair fell off my head. He's aware of it. That's the truth about him. He has that kind of ability and power. Coffee. It's an artist's cup. Anyway, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. I know you can't take back this time. And so some people will say, oh, there's a half hour I'll never get back. Well, it's a half hour that will benefit you more than anything else. I'm encouraging you, search for God. Search for the truth about God. Search for God's will, what God wants done for you. What He wants you to do. He wants you to knock on doors. Become a Christian, learn the truth, and then tell other people the truth. Spread the truth. Spread it worldwide. Why? So that more people could survive. That's His way of keeping people alive. Because it allows the angels to come to your door behind us, invisible angels, and see what kind of person you are. Whether or not you deserve to live or you deserve to die. When we knock at your door, this is a judgment period. Not by us. You're not judged by us. We're just the messengers. Don't shoot the messengers. Right? You heard that before. Everybody's heard that. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, the judgment's going to be by angels behind us. Well, they're actually recording what's going on, and they'll probably bring it to Jesus Christ. Maybe Jesus gave them authority to do the judging, because that they delegate. Jesus delegates authority to others. He's not the only judge. He allows other people in heaven to judge. The 144,000 are not just fellow servants. One of their functions is to judge the earth, judge the people on the earth. There's 144,000 judges over the earth. There's 24 elders that judge. There's Jesus Christ who judges. And there's Jehovah God who has handed all authority to Jesus to do all the judging. So Jehovah's not going to be our judge. But it's like, it says Jehovah is judging us because they're going to judge us by what Jehovah has written down for them to judge us. His rules. They're judging us by His rules, so it's Him doing the judging. It's just being delegated to others. Cool, huh? What was there was something else I wanted to say. No, there's always something else. There's so much problems on the earth. Satan and his hurricanes trying to get people to hate God, trying to say, oh, God was responsible for stopping that hurricane and He didn't. How is God responsible for stopping hurricanes if man is in the independence from God? See, Adam and Eve ate that fruit. They became independent of God. God didn't have to teach him how to sew clothes together. But God came down, Jehovah came down, and He taught Adam and Eve how to sew clothes together, how to farm. Satan got Adam and Eve to abandon Jehovah. Leave Jehovah. Abandon Jehovah. But who abandoned who? Satan abandoned them. Satan became their God, and Satan abandoned them. Satan abandoned them. They went to Satan. Adam and Eve. They started believing Satan. And Satan, where was Satan? He disappeared. They became His servants, and He doesn't care about you. Satan doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about His servants. All those going to the crossroads, trying to get Satan's favor, he doesn't care about you. He'll abandon you. Almost, it's close to 100% that he abandons. And he only picks a few people, like if they won the lottery, they won Satan's lottery and he cares about you. No, he doesn't care about you. He just picks a couple people to bless. Why? So that people will curse God and say, "Oh, you abandoned us again." No, man abandoned him. And God came and helped men. Even though men abandoned him, he still helped them. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to stop hurricanes. He did stop hurricanes from hitting Israel when Israel was a country. And he didn't protect any other nation. He protected Israel because they all worshipped him. They all searched for the truth about him. They all wanted to do Jehovah's will, what Jehovah wanted them to do. See, that's what it's about. It's about wanting to do what Jehovah wants you to do. His will. Bible says, "Our Father in the heavens, let your name take place. Let your kingdom come. Let your will take place on earth as it is in heaven." And we just did his will. Talking about his name, Jehovah. That's his will. That his name be known. Another part of his will is that his kingdom come on the earth as it is in heaven. That's his will. And he wants all the people of the earth to know that. Satan doesn't want that. He doesn't want you to know that his name is Jehovah. He doesn't want you to know. Satan doesn't want you to know that God is not responsible for wars, human wars, and diseases. That man is responsible. That man is independent of God. That man left God. Satan wants you to believe that God is still with men. And that men are still with God when they got their independence from him long time ago. See, that's why we're praying. Why are we praying for God's kingdom to come? So that we're no longer independent of him. When his kingdom comes, we will not be independent from God. We will not be under Satan's influence no longer. Because the first thing God's kingdom is going to do is destroy Satan out of existence for 1,000 years. Then he will exist again. Anyways, God help. You're a witness to the fact, if you read the Bible, you're a witness to the fact that Adam left Jehovah. Even though Adam and Eve left Jehovah, Satan left Adam and Eve. He didn't take care of his own. Satan didn't take care of his own. He didn't care about them. He just wanted to use them. Satan used Adam and Eve to turn away from Jehovah God, to start this independence, a rebellious independence away from God. Satan used Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, they were just a tool to Satan. He used them. He didn't care about them. He doesn't care about your needs. He today doesn't care about your needs, and that's why he is the one sending hurricanes. Hurricanes and hurricanes, earthquakes, wars, disease. Satan is behind all of this. Satan is behind all the racism and the hate. He wants you to hate white people. It's popular to hate white people in America nowadays. As a result, white people are getting together now and they're fighting back. They form groups like White Lives Matters too and stuff like that. And they're accused of being a hate group, and they're a defensive group. White Lives Matter is a defense. It's a response to Black Lives Matters, which is an attack to make all white people. What's that word? To profile all white people. Black Lives Matters is profiling all white people into the same group. And that group's getting pissed off, and they're forming other groups to fight back. And this person hating that person, Black Lives Matter hating all the white people, accusing all the white people of making them slaves long ago, and the Portuguese made them slaves. The Spanish made them slaves. They had all these ships. The Spanish and Portuguese had all these ships in the dates, Dabers or whatever. The English had some ships, but America didn't have any slave ships. The only slave ships in America were pirate ships, because there was a law against slave ships. The United States had a law against slave ships. They were to be captured and brought in. If they could capture a slave ship, the United States would capture them. But they had such a small navy back then. They couldn't. Your navy today doesn't compare to back then. Their navy back then was almost non-existent. That's why these slave ships were able to come to America and tempt the 1% of white people. Yeah, the 1% of white people that actually had money to buy slaves. You ever watch the movie? Roots? How much did Kunta Kinte sell for? Now, I'm not trying to be racist here. I'm trying to prove a point here, that not all white people are wicked slave masters. Kunta Kinte sold for $1,400, and there's no white person except the 1%. The 1% white people down south bought those slaves, put them on their big, huge, rich, expensive plantations. See, white people back then down south, they made 5 cents an hour. 5 cents an hour. If you were a police officer, you made 12 cents per hour. How many lifetimes is it going to take a person making 11 cents an hour to buy a slave for $1,400 when he's paying rent, when he's buying loaves of bread for his food, see, the 1% had these white people locked, trapped. They had to, those white people down south had to spit on the black guy at the town black guy at the door, at the entrance to the city. They had to spit on him or else be hung. They were hung out and back. In fact, it was more white people hung for not spitting on the town, but the N-word, nigger, for not spitting on him. They were hung out back. And it wasn't talked about. See, it wasn't written down as a historical fact. They just did it. They did that. They called them nigger lovers. You're a nigger lover. That's what they called them. Now, I don't like to use that word, but I have to, in order to teach you that white people back then, they either fought in the war, they either hated the white man up north, or they were shot on the site, executed for being a traitor. Like Trump. Trump's a traitor, yet he's not getting shot, right? They're not shooting him because the United States became weak. That's another point I wanted to bring out. How Daniel the prophet said that in the last days the government's going to be partly strong, made of iron, and partly weak, made of clay. And clay doesn't stick to iron. So, the government and the justice system is weak. They're the clay. The government, the politicians, and the justice system are weak. They're so weak they can't put Donald Trump in jail. Years could go by. Years after he committed all these treasonous things that he did, he committed treason. And they can't we can't prove it. See, that's the weakness right there. that they have to prove it. Come on, we all know he committed treason. We all know he's a traitor and attacked his own country. We don't need evidence. All the evidence is right there on the TV. He told those people to go there, be strong, take no shit, and take back America. Taking back America. See that? That's what he called his insurrection, taking back America. See, this is treason. This is a traitor. He's a traitor against America. And why do I say that? Not because I hate him. I say that to show you proof, evidence, my kitty, evidence that United States justice system and political system is weak. And they represent the clay in Daniel's dream. Or the king Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Daniel's interpreting it. He's telling us that the United States is weak, but yet strong. Its military is undeniably strong without their nuclear weapons and all their jets and all their drones and all their bombs. Very, very strong. Iron strong. So their military represents the strong iron that Daniel was interpreting his dream as. And the clay was the politics. Weak justice system. They can't even give this guy Nick Cruz or whatever his name is. They can't give this mass murderer the death penalty. He's still alive. He killed 18 people, 3 teachers, and a mass murderer, and he's still alive.